All right, let's get some analysis. Rumeysa Kadak is a member of Turkish parliament from the ruling AK Party. An interesting fact, she's also the youngest deputy in the parliament. Good to have you on set.
Thank you for having me.
I don't know what I was doing at your age, but congratulations. All right, let's go back 24 hours to this deal between the United States and Turkey. I was talking to Yusuf Erim, and he was saying that this was a win-win situation for both. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Well, yesterday's deals actually showed us that United States understood the concerns, the need, and the urgency of Turkey to secure its borders, end the terror corridor, and create a safe space where millions of civilians in Syria can resettle. And it also showed that Turkey was right from the very beginning of this operation.
Okay. You say that Turkey was able to convince the United States to understand its national security concerns. This isn't something new. We've heard this from the United States many times before.
That is true. Well, we really hope that the United States will be able to convince terrorist PKK to withdraw from the secure zone in a peaceful way. However, we all know that trusting a terrorist organization is never a good idea, given from the past reassurances which actually states us that terrorist PKK is not trustworthy. But we trust this time the United States will be able to convince them and we are going to be able to create a safe space for civilians.
President Erdogan was just speaking to a group of foreign journalists just a moment ago when we started the show. And there he, in a very detailed fashion, sort of took the steps that Turkey was taking with Syria way before the conflict started, or going back to when the conflict started, saying, you know, this is not sort of our impulsive reaction, this operation. You know, we tried to approach Bashar al-Assad in terms of showing what he should be doing in terms of not oppressing his people, and so on and so forth. And to bring Turkey to where we are today, the situation in Syria is very fluid. It changes not only month by month, but as we're seeing right now, week by week, perhaps day by day. How is Turkey's response going to change to Syria, or is it?
Okay, let's make this clear. Turkey has two main objectives. It's very simple: to end the terror corridor, which has been a threat for us for our borders, which is also a border of NATO, and to create a safe space for civilians, millions of civilians in Syria. And it is really ridiculous to claim, this accusation is really ridiculous to claim that this operation is empowering Assad. Well, we are, however, working with the only army on the ground that has ever fought against Assad.
One would argue that it's not ridiculous that it's empowering, because when you look at it, without firing a single shot, Bashar al-Assad has exponentially increased the land that it controls in Syria. So Turkey must actually have to sort of take a step back and not evaluate the situation?
Well, the one that is empowering Assad is the terrorist PKK, because we know that they have never fought against Assad in the past few years, and we know that they're not trustworthy, but they had deals with ISIS, they're giving the lands to Assad. But the question is, I think, is that why did they give the land to Assad but not the ISIS prisoners?
Okay, that's a fair question. President Erdogan also mentioned that through the creation of the safe zone, he'd like to see up to 2 million, between 1 million and 2 million Syrian refugees resettled in this. Do you know where these Syrian refugees are going to come from? Are they going to be coming from the ones that Turkey hosts, or the ones that have been internally displaced because of this ongoing civil war, or a combination of both?
Well, we can say that this safe zone is, we are trying to have this safe zone in order to firstly save civilians in Syria, millions of them. And yes, we also want to give option Syrian refugees living in Turkey, at least 2 million of them can be able to resettle.
All right. Rumeysa Kadak, thank you for joining us here on set. I do appreciate your analysis.
Thank you for having me.